West Bengal bans the movie. You have the BJP spokesperson Shehzad Poonawala who has hit out at the TMC government. The BJP says that putting a ban on a movie which has been passed by the High Court and passed or any kind of orders were refused or not given for banning the movie from the Supreme Court, such kind of orders from a government is illegal. West Bengal is an authoritarian mindset and that is exposed. That's the word coming in from Shehzad Poonawala. Listen in to the reaction from the BJP, then we'll go back to our guest.
पश्चिम बंगाल में आज तानाशाही माइंडसेट एंड कल्चर टीएमसी की सरकार है और वो एक ऐसी सरकार है जो बोलने की आज़ादी, अभिव्यक्ति की आज़ादी पर लगातार कुटाराघात करती रही है। प्रतिबंध लगाने का काम ये गैर कानूनी और अवैध है, संविधान के खिलाफ है, क्योंकि हाई कोर्ट और सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने इसको हरी झंडी दिखाई थी। ये दिखाता है कि कुछ लोग वोट बैंक की राजनीति में रेडिकल्स के समर्थन में और महिलाओं के अधिकार के खिलाफ उतर आते हैं और अगर कोई इसके खिलाफ, इस बैन के खिलाफ कोर्ट में गया है तो उनका अधिकार है। मुझे लगता है ये बैन सवाल निर्माण करता है कि आईसिस के ऊपर बनी फिल्म से टीएमसी के कार्यकर्ताओं को और नेताओं को इतनी समस्या और दिक्कत क्यों है।
All right, I want to go back to Anirban. Anirban, I want you to finish your point, and then from the cultural or social aspects, I want to touch upon the legal aspects as well, what the BJP is talking about. Anirban Banerjee, please go ahead.
Shehzad, does he know about the films Farzania or Firak or even the BBC documentary? Is the BJP speaking against ban? Is the BJP speaking about freedom of speech? This is not even hypocrisy on that. Whether my personal stand is it should not be. But when you are creating a film which is not really a film, but actually a venomous propaganda in the garb of a film, that of course should be banned. Every time this should be banned.
All right, I'll come to you and I'll ask you, how does one decide whether something is a venomous propaganda? And is that left to the whims of the political leadership of the day? I'll come back to you. Professor Roy, make your argument. Please go ahead.
Yes, first of all, propaganda means misinformation to further a cause. This is not misinformation. It is based on facts. In 2016, the Nimisha Fatima case, Anirban, that girl, she was found in Afghanistan jails. 21 girls were missing from Kerala in 2016. Mr. Shashi Tharoor also had spoken about it, that 4 mothers or 4 daughters contacted him. And the mother recognized that she was Nimisha, not Fatima. So there are cases and there are registered cases. So please do not be in a denial mode. Come out. We have to be cautious because it can happen to our daughters. And what you are doing injustice to the Muslim community also, because the entire Muslim community cannot be.
All right. I want to touch upon now on another aspect. Anirban, maybe your political inclination, and I take it that there is a sizable chunk in the country which may believe that this is not the movie, this is not good for public, we shouldn't be making movies like these. I get that point of view. That can be a point of view in this country like you have. But how does the government of a day decide that I'm going to ban this movie? Well, wasn't the BJP, one second, Professor Roy, one second. Wasn't the BJP criticized for banning the BBC documentary from various quarters? One question's raised on them that why are you not letting a movie screen? This is about freedom of expression. So then why is this movie not about freedom of expression? And why does freedom of expression and fundamental rights are raised only selectively when it suits you?
No, it's not.
Professor Roy, one second. Anirban, go ahead.
When you are making a movie or a documentary based on something that actually happened, the Gujarat riots are a reality. They did occur. Even the BJP cannot deny that it did not occur. What they say, the best they can come up with, that Mr. Narendra Modi had no hand in it. But they never say that it did not happen. So therefore, the particular 2002 episode.
So are you basically arguing that there are no cases of radicalization in Kerala? Is that your argument?
If there are, then let the filmmakers come out with the real facts. Why are they saying that this is based on fiction? Why have they reduced the numbers from 32,000 to 3? If they are so confident about the reality of Kerala, they should stick to their narrative. They are not sticking to their narrative.
Okay.
When they're going to high court.
So let's take your argument forward. Let's take your argument forward. If the filmmakers have not done the best according to you, what you think they should have, does it make grounds for a state government to ban them? Is that legal in this country? I don't think it is.
No. See, the CBFC is the highest body and it has given a certificate. The courts have already refused to block the film, so the government cannot do anything. And the comparison with BBC documentary is a false equivalence, Anirban. The BBC is a foreign agency which was also banned by Indira Gandhi in the Congress time. Let us not forget that.
RSS was also banned.
And BBC is funded by China.
Banned.
And let's
by
not
Mr.
forget
Patel himself,
BBC
by Indira Gandhi. Therefore, RSS, BBC.
All right, one at a time. Professor Roy right now. Professor Roy.
BBC is doing about a case after 20 years, and when the court, the highest court of the land, has acquitted Mr. Narendra Modi that he had no role to play. So when the highest court has done that, then BBC, a foreign agency, cannot do that. So do you think BBC is bigger than our Supreme Court? Do you hold BBC in a higher position? And it has been funded by Chinese authorities, BBC. So the entire
this discussion, I want to go back. Professor Roy, just bringing the discussion back to where we started. That there could be movies, there could be pieces of cinema and art which one political side or the other may not like. All I'm trying to make a point as a journalist is that there should not be a ban culture in this country. One doesn't make it better than the other. Just because one party did it, that doesn't mean that by the logic of whataboutery, TMC has a right to ban a movie. Are there real instances? Anirban, let's come to you. Are there actually real instances where the state government can back the claim that there could be a law and order problem across the country? There has been no law and order problem.
No.
No, of
3.5 days.
Anirban Banerjee.
In the last few months, we have seen anti-Islamic forces, anti-Muslim forces, Hindutva fascist forces. They have been creating ruckus on the ground, and this could have been another incident where they would have regrouped and created law and order situation. Apprehension is an important factor for the law and order machinery to work. They have to apprehend the situation. And there are many examples throughout West Bengal that the RSS BJP camp, they are trying to incite riots. Therefore, whether they wanted to regroup along the lines of the Kerala story film, whether they will be filmed in this cinema or that multiplex, that theater, they were regrouping. They were coming to their...
All I want to say is that there are vague generalizations and broad generalization, Anirban, in your argument. One is you're trying to make an argument that it is ever since... One second, listen to me and then you can say that I'm wrong. You've not listened to me. You're basically trying to argue that it is ever since the advent of the BJP as the principal opposition party in the state of West Bengal that violence has started in the state. Unfortunately, the state has a history of political violence running into decades much before BJP became the principal opposition party. So violence and BJP and RSS, I think you can talk about certain instances if you have proof, but to make that broad generalization, I don't understand. Second point, you rightly say, and in fact, I raised that question to Professor Roy earlier, that the placement of the word jihad with radicalization brings in fears of certain kind of, labeling the community. In the similar fashion, Anirban, when you make an argument about Hindu fascist forces, aren't you generalizing? Hindutva or Hindu, I don't think the both are particularly separable. But even Hindutva forces, aren't you generalizing and making a statement about one particular majoritarian community in this country? Because either the argument holds true for Hindus and Muslims, or it doesn't hold true at all. Anirban.
Hindutva is a political ideology, has got nothing to do with the religion called Hindu. That's number one. And you rightly said that West Bengal has got a political...
One at a time. Professor Roy, after this I'll come to you.